Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be shedding light on what causes stunted growth. So, what can stunted growth be attributed to? Without further ado, without further delay, allow me to demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now. Lamentably, much to my dismay, much to my consternation, much to my chagrin, much to my grief, and much to my agony, stunted growth is primarily caused by the mandate to attend the K through 12 13-year insalubrious compulsory indoctrination camp, which some people refer to as a K through 12 13-year insalubrious compulsory concentration camp, while other people refer to it as a 13-year K through 12 insalubrious compulsory prison. People should be pioneers of their own destinies. They should have purview over how their sacrosanct, indispensable, precious, invaluable time is earmarked. They should not be ushered into the 13-year insalubrious K through 12 compulsory concentration camps. It is a toxic environment, and it lamentably induces stunted growth in children. It dispossesses them out of 37,440 hours of their time that they cannot replenish, that they cannot recuperate. So it's at least 37,440 hours of sleep deprivation, depression, agony, distress, accelerated cellular aging, agony, and misery. Nothing salubrious, nothing fruitful, nothing beneficent can ensue from attending the K through 12 insalubrious 13-year compulsory concentration camp. It is purely inimical. But lamentably, in this control market economy, you cannot choose how your time is allocated as a child. And it's a recipe for succumbing to insurmountable debt, chronic poverty, destitution, indigence, compromised health, chronic burnout, chronic fatigue, chronic stress, chronic anxiety, and a severely reduced quality of life, as well as an increased mortality rate. How so, you may ask? Well, after you're dispossessed of 37,440 hours of your sacrosanct, indispensable, finite, precious time, you did not receive any compensation, you did not receive any remuneration, you did not receive any stipend, you did not receive any grant, you did not receive any pension, you receive absolutely nothing for your time, energy, and efforts expended attending the K through 12 insalubrious 13-year concentration camp and completing all of the classroom assignments and homework assignments. It is a squanderance of your time, energy, effort, and mental bandwidth. It is a depletion of your life, and you should have purview over how your time is allocated. You should be at liberty to allocate your time as you deem fit. You should not be imprisoned by being relegated to a K through 12 insalubrious 13-year compulsory prison. You should be liberated. So, when you're dispossessed of 37,440 hours attending the K through 12 insalubrious 13-year compulsory concentration camp against your own volition, this is going to induce sleep deprivation. In addition, you're also more than likely not going to be able to attain optimal nutrient levels because you're dispossessed of 37,440 hours to eat nutrient-dense foods. It is inhumane that individuals are sentenced to a K through 12 insalubrious 13-year compulsory prison for being born. It's unvindicated, unwarranted, unjustified, and people should be at liberty to be pioneers of their own destinies. And The graduates do not receive anything for their time, energy, and efforts. High school diplomas have no intrinsic value nor extrinsic value. They are worthless. They are meaningless. And lamentably, you cannot recuperate this time expended attending the K through 12 insalubrious 13-year compulsory concentration camp and completing the homework assignments and classroom assignments. It is just nugatory, unavailing, futile, and an exercise of sheer and utter unalloyed vanity. And it will permanently stunt your growth physically, mentally, and spiritually. Furthermore, postgraduate and run the K through 12 insalubrious 13-year compulsory concentration camp, you do not have any practical skills. You do not have any competencies, nor do you have any desirable knowledge because you do not learn anything in that environment. You just go there in a lethargic state in which you are ineffably fatigued, torpid, frazzled, debilitated, lethargic, due to the severe sleep deprivation that continuously accrues each and every day, and it exacerbates each and every day. So it's an environment that induces chronic burnout, chronic fatigue, chronic anxiety, chronic stress. It's a traumatizing experience, and you receive nothing from it. But you will succumb to post-attending the K through 12 insalubrious 13-year compulsory concentration camp against your own volition is stunted growth, chronic burnout, chronic fatigue, chronic stress, depression, anxiety, reduced intelligence, agony, distress, telomere shortening, accelerated cellular aging, misery, and poor health. Is going to compromise your health. Furthermore, it also creates a calamitous recipe for causing you to live a life fraught with undue hardships, insurmountable debt, chronic poverty, destitution, indigence, compromised health, chronic burnout, chronic fatigue, chronic stress, a severely reduced quality of life, an increased mortality rate, and ineffable despair. Because how are you supposed to rebound when you've been dispossessed of 37,440 hours against your own volition, in which you do not receive a modicum of compensation for your time, energy, and efforts? Will you have the impetus to work hard in your 20s? Will you be driven to pull yourself out of the muck and mire when you're ineffably burned out beyond apprehension? So, if you succumb to sleep deprivation and malnutrition, it will lamentably induce stunted growth. And you're going to be all the more poised, all the more primed, and all the more apt to succumb to malnutrition if you're dispossessed of 37,440 hours to eat nutrient-dense fruits and vegetables. Furthermore, if you neglect to take vegan supplements, you're also more prone to succumb to malnutrition. You always want to attain optimal nutrient levels. You never want to succumb to having subpar nutrient levels, nor succumb to having nutrient deficiencies. And of course, it is going to induce chronic, unmitigated sleep deprivation if you have to attend the K through 12 13-year insalubrious compulsory concentration camp against your own volition in this control market economy in which you cannot choose how your sacrosanct, indispensable, finite, precious, invaluable time is allocated amid your childhood years. You should embrace health optimization measures. You should aim to attain vigorous, stellar, robust, optimal health. You should do everything in your purview to optimize your health. And it is all the more cumbersome, all the more arduous, and all the more ineffably difficult to rebound and pull yourself out of the muck and mire when you've been dispossessed of 37,440 hours against your own volition. Lamentably, there's no compensation, there's no remuneration, there's no pension, there's no benefits, there's no grant, there's no stipend, there's no recompense furnished to you post-graduating from the 13-year insalubrious K-12 compulsory concentration camp. You should not be sentenced to a 13-year insalubrious K-12 compulsory prison for being born. It's completely inhumane. So I hope that you deem this video to be insightful, enthralling, mesmerizing, captivating, riveting. You should aim to attain as much quality deep sleep as deemed viably possible. You should aim to optimize your health. You should aim to allocate as much time as viably possible into embracing health optimization measures. Your health is your wealth. That truism holds true because where is the merit in having substantial wealth if your health is degrading, ailing, waning, atrophying, and exacerbating? If your well-being is not maximized, if your well-being is compromised and is undermined, then it is going to exacerbate your life. I hope that you found this video to be informative and intriguing. Have a blissful day. Goodbye.